So I wanted to tell you, okay, so a little quick story before we start. So yesterday I traveled from Colorado Springs to Vancouver, right? And it's super stressful because you have to, it's like terrifying because there's all these requirements you have to meet because of COVID testing, which of course is good, but Canada is very strict. So there's all this kind of like, tension around showing documents and vaccinations and things like that about going. So anyway, so I'm in Colorado Springs, all is smooth sailing. My turnaround, I'm going from Colorado Springs, Denver to Vancouver, and my turnaround in Denver is super tight. It's 15 minutes basically, and I have to change terminals. If anyone's been to the DIA, right? It's a big airport. You gotta like take a train. Yep. So I'm like, okay, but no problem. So I get on the plane. I'm settled. I'm like, thank goodness, documents okay, because you think you got your bases covered, but just was scared about it a little bit. Get on, yay, everything's good. And then they say, hello, from the flight deck. Their traffic in Denver is pretty high right now, so they're going to be monitoring how we come in. So we're going to be leaving here in 50 minutes. So we were grounded for 55 minutes. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to make this. I was like landing at the exact time that my other flight left from a different terminal. And so I was like, okay. So it was one of those moments where the first initial thought was panic. Like, how many flights are there into Canada from Denver? Turns out there are plenty, but I was like freaking out about that. And then I was kind of like, this is my shot. I've planned and worked and, got all my shots and papers in order to come on this trip. It's really important. And now I'm going to miss this flight. And no. And then this moment after that initial panic, there was this moment of calm of just like, this is something, it's like, I can't control this. Like, there's no need to me panicking is not going to change anything. Right. And so I was thinking of the Bhagavad Gita, where one of the lessons of karma yoga is that you do your action to your highest. You try to live according to the most elevated values. We do our best. Your actions, right? We're responsible for the actions, but we are not responsible for the rest of the world and for how they turn out and the fruits of our actions. And how much time do I spend panicking, anxious, worried, regretful? Oh, regret. Love that one. That's super fun. All of these different things, which are often not about the present moment, because the only time that we can actually take action is right now. This is it. So when I got to Denver, it turns out I landed and we were 15 minutes until my flight left. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, okay, people, I have a connecting flight. So got off, ran, I was like in a mask with my luggage in Denver, which is a high altitude. I was like, ran, got the train, got in, ran to my gate at the next terminal. The guy's there. He's like, Rachel Scott. He's like, we were taking bets whether you would make it. I was like, and I made it. I made it on my flight. But it was kind of one of what I could control in there. I was like, what I can control is that I do my best to run. I do my best to get there and then let the chips fall where they may. And what that does is it takes some of that emotional clawness out of it. That kind of like that attachment we have to how things go, which is what really drives us crazy. It's like, I can run without being anxious about it. I could just do my best, right? So this is the invitation for our practice, is that in each moment, in the moment, because this is the only time that we can do it, is that we show up and we do our best. You run with your luggage, folks, or do a brisk pace with your luggage. Just show up and give it what you got. But then we have to have the wisdom and the discernment to know when we need to let go of that emotional attachment to it. There's a difference between being invested and being attached. So that's what we're going to do in headstand. So come lay on your backs. Lay on your backs. You can either have your legs straight out or you can have your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. And one of the tools that our yoga practice gives us, just as I discovered yesterday, when I was running, I couldn't be worried about all I could do was run. That's it. Is that our body is an immediate tether back to the now. Our body is only now, the sensations and what we feel. Our thoughts are going to lead us into crazy land. Sometimes it's pleasant, crazy land. Sometimes it's not so nice, crazy land, but our thoughts kind of lead us into fantasy, which can be helpful, but we need to be able to distinguish between that world and then the slower, real-time world of the nowness of our body. So make a transition from thinking to feeling, And as you start to deepen your breath, feel how your body can expand and contract. And I want to invite us to give ourselves permission to be present. That this is the moment, the only moment that we can be really, truly responsible for right now. This is it. And so give yourself this next space of time to be here, to let the future take care of itself. And take 3 more breaths. And if there's anything kind of sticky you want to let go of, take a big sigh out through your mouth or a big and let it go. Let your eyes begin to softly open, but keep them soft, keep your head heavy, and draw your right knee into your chest. Draw your right knee into your chest. Now you have the option here to either keep your left foot on the floor. Yeah, go ahead and grab a hold of your right knee. You can extend your left leg out. So it's up to you. So if it feels better on your back to bend the knee, that's fine. But if you are extending the leg out, then our intention here is to press the left inner thigh down towards the floor. So root it down. Yeah, Connie, stretch through your heel. So kind of scrub the left heel along the floor. Yeah, press a little bit more through the big toe mound of your left foot. Yeah, nice feet, Julia. Erica, so awake. So great. I see so many great toes right now. Good. And now I want you to explore a little bit by taking the knees slightly wider to the side and then a little bit more towards your midline. And what you're looking for here is, hey, where does my knee, where does my thigh bone naturally fall the closest to my body? Where do I have the most access to that kind of flexion of drawing the knee into my chest? And everybody's body is a little bit different. Just noticing like, hey, okay, I get a little bit more when it's a little wider, a little bit more when it's inside. Great. And then switch sides, place that foot on the floor, draw the left knee into your chest. Let the weight of your hands be on the top of your shin. Let the elbows drop so your shoulders can relax, soften your throat. Option 2, keep the right foot here or stretch it out and press the right inner thigh firmly down onto the mat. So most of us, you guys are doing great here. Yeah, I see such a beautiful refinement actually in the quality of your legs. So that's what tells me that I'm with some awake yogis here. I see a lot of beautiful attention to the feet and to the thighs. It's nice. Drop your shoulders, relax your face. Good. And now start to explore taking the knee a little bit wider, a little bit more inwards. And again, finding that sweet spot where you have the most access to draw the knee close to your body. Just kind of notice, move the hip back and forth. First of all, that feels nice, but also we're just kind of searching like with curiosity, what can I learn about my body right now? Okay, take one more breath. Great. Draw both knees into your chest. Hold on to the tops of your shins. Squeeze them in. So you kind of feel like you're like almost making a little ball. Curl your tailbone up just slightly towards the sky, just a little bit. So you feel your low back imprint. Inhale. As you exhale, exhale to the bottom of your exhale so that your navel hollows a little bit. You'll feel the pelvic floor lift. Squeeze the knees in. Keep that little hollow feeling and the spreading of your lower back as you bring your knees now over your hips. So we come into a little table on your back. Bring your hands behind your head. You guys know where this is going. Take an inhale. Now, as you exhale, curl your chest up towards your knees. Yeah, curl your chest up. Stay here, pause. Good, 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 good. Good, Louisa. Bring your knees a little forward if you can, so they're more over your hips. Yeah, it's gonna make it a little harder. Inhale, come halfway down. And as you exhale, curl up. Get your shoulder blades off the floor. Curl up, curl up, curl up. Relax your head. Point the elbows up towards the sky a little bit. Good. Inhale, come down. We're not going to do too many of these. We're just waking up our core. Exhale, curl up. Keep squeezing your knees in. Just do, this is it. We're doing the best we can, right? Curl on down. Do you guys do 5 more on your own? 5 more slow curls. Feel your way through these. Yeah, really nice, you guys. Good, Erica. Draw your elbows slightly towards the sky. It's a bit different sometimes than the way we usually do it. Yeah, nice, Julie. That was a nice adjustment too. Good. And then a couple more. Keep the knees where they are. Good. Try to drop the heels a little bit forward and down now to make it a little bit more intense without losing the connection of your low back. Last one. Inhale, come down. Okay, I'm going to do this with you so you're not mad at me. Come back, bring your head to the floor, squeeze your knees in, find your tabletop. Inhale. As you exhale, curl up, take your right elbow to the left knee. Actually, you're trying to bring your left shoulder to the left knee. Now extend your right leg out and straight. Keep the leg nice and engaged. Don't lose the connection of your low back to the floor. Inhale, come back to center. So a little oblique. As you exhale, now lift your chest up towards your knee. Rather than drawing the knee in, lift yourself up. Inhale, back to center. As you exhale, the right leg goes forward, curling up to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, curl up to the right. Left leg goes forward, nice, strong and straight. Inhale, back to center. Curl up to the left. Stretch the right leg forward, nice and strong and straight. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, curl up to the right. Left leg goes strong and straight forward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, curl up to the left. This is the last time like this. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, curl up to the right. Curl up, stay. Inhale, back to center. Stay up in center. Curl up a little bit more. Extend your right leg straight up towards the sky and extend your left leg forward at like a 45-degree angle. So here you are. To make this harder, bring your right heel forward slightly. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the left leg straight up towards the sky. Now draw your right leg about 45 degrees down. Now to make this harder, bring the left heel just a little bit forward. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, curl up, 2, 1. Knees and later, roll a little bit back and forth, side to side. So your core is so happy. And then roll off to one side. Come on to all fours and press back into downward facing dog. So, what are we not thinking about when we're doing core work? The future. Right, so staying right in the moment. Downward facing dog, everybody. Good. Press your palms down, bend your knees, pull the hips up and back. Yeah. Good, Tom. That's looking good with your pelvis. Good work. And then press your hands into the floor a little bit as you wrap your outer arms in. Squeeze them in towards the center. And then press one heel back, then the other. Take whatever little movements you want to now, just to kind of feel into your body. Nice big breath in. Nice exhale out. Walk your feet forward towards your hands. Place your feet hip distance apart and parallel. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift your shoulders, lift your chest. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. All right. Front of your mat, Tadasana. Press down through the feet. Stretch the fingertips down towards the floor. As you inhale, reach your arms forward enough. Take them straight up towards the sky. Urdhva Hastasana and pause. Okay. Turn your palms to face each other. Drop the shoulders away from your ears just a little. So release that tension there. Now try to turn the palms in towards each other and then towards the back wall behind you. So feel that rotation all the way down into your shoulders. Pull the front ribs in a tiny bit. Yes, pull the front ribs in and take the thumbs back. Yes, that's it. Stretch through the arms. And as you root down through the feet, use that to stretch your heart all the way up through your fingertips. Inhale. As you exhale, take the hands together in front of your heart. Forward fold over your legs. All the way down. Forward fold. Inhaling in. Halfway lift. Open your chest. As you exhale, step into plank pose, high push-up position. Option to lower the knees down here if you need a little extra support. Otherwise, what you're going to do is press your hands into the floor. And as you do that, pull your shoulder blades apart. So press the upper back up towards the sky. Broaden your shoulder blades. So in a high push-up position. That's it. And then as you exhale, melt the heart a little bit. So we're just finding that tiny little movement of the shoulder blades, these little scapular push-ups. Good, Connie. Keep your elbows straight, though. Keep your elbows straight. That's it. Good. Yeah, nice, Trisha. And then you find that little balance. So now finding the balance between those two actions, pull the front ribs in so you find some broadness in your upper back, but then melt the heart just a little bit to tuck the shoulder blades onto your back body. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor, all the way down. Stretch your toes back, press the pelvis down. Inhale, baby cobra, hug the shoulder blades together as you pull your heart forward and through. As you exhale, press through hands and knees up and back, downward facing dog, all the way up and back. Bend your knees, pull the tops of your thighs back, stretch through the sides of your waist. Good. Look forward, bend your knees. This is going to be, listen up here. What we're going to do is we're going to walk our feet slowly. Wait, not yet. We're going to walk our feet forward. You're going to step. You're going to try to do two things. You're going to try to keep your hands as flat as possible. And you're going to try to step heel first in tiny steps as you walk your way towards your hands. Okay. And if you notice, you might notice here, it's easier if I take my feet a little wider. Some of you might notice it's a little easier when your feet are together. Yeah, nice, Tom. That's it. Then walk all the way to the front. Just do the best you can to keep your hands down as long as you can. Good. Back at the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, rise all the way up. Take your arms wide to the sky. Reach up, stretch up. Stretch your heart through your fingertips. Flowing now. Exhale, take your hands all the way down to the floor. Forward fold, let it go. Inhaling in, halfway lift, open your chest. Plant your hands as you exhale, step back into a high plank position. Take an inhale here, broaden your chest, stabilize your shoulders on your back. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Strong legs. Inhale, baby cobra, pull your heart forward and through. Option 1. Option 2, straighten your arms, lift your thighs, upward facing dog, hips off the floor. Lift your hips. Lift your hips if you're an up dog. Lift your thighs. Pull your heart through. Good, Soledad. Pull your shoulders back. Pull them back. Pull them back. Exhale. Press up and back. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. Bring the feet together. Squeeze the legs. The end of your exhale. Look forward. Walk, step, or jump your feet to the front of your mat. Inhaling in. Halfway lift. Nice wide chest. Exhale. Forward fold. Release your head. Inhale. Strong legs. Reach your arms all the way up. Take the arm bones back, reach back, stretch back, reach up, reach up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhaling in, halfway lift, nice wide chest, fingertips to the floor or your shins. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back, chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale into your back bend. That can be baby cobra or up dog, your choice. Arm bones back, back, back. That's it. As you exhale, pull up and back, downward facing dog. Feet together. Bend your knees, look forward, press into your hands, walk, step, or jump your feet to the front of your mat. Inhaling in, halfway lift. Nice. Exhale, fold in, drop your head, squeeze your legs. Inhale, take your arms all the way up. Draw the hands back, reach the arm bones back, pull your heart forward and up, press into your feet. One more time. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhaling in, halfway lift, nice wide chest. Exhale, chaturanga, chaturanga. Okay, listen up this time, you guys. Inhale into your back bend, baby cobra or up dog. If you're in up dog, lower your hips, bend your elbows, pull your arm bones back, cobra pose. Drop your pelvis, but pull your heart forward and through. Don't drop your chest, Julia. Just pull your heart forward and through. Good. Lift back up into upward facing dog, everybody. Upward facing dog, upward facing dog. Reach your chest forward and down, lower down, chaturanga. This is so mean. So mean, it's good. Chaturanga. Press into plank pose, press up. Woof, woof, yes, my Linda. Okay, back downward facing dog. Just a little moment to brighten your day. Okay, feet together at the back of your mat. Squeeze your legs together. Bend your knees, hips high, look forward. At the end of your exhale, walk, step, or jump your feet to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, nice wide chest. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Reach your arms all the way up. Thumbs back, heart forward and up, press down into your feet. Reach your arms back, reach your heart forward. Nice, Joanna. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana. Tadasana. Squeeze your legs together, so feet together, bend your knees, sit down, chair pose, reach your arms forward. Chair pose. Good, sit your hips lower. Lower. Weight back into your heels. Yeah. Good, nice, Connie. Yeah, good. Pull the front ribs in just a tiny bit, everybody. And again, turn your palms slightly towards the sky. So that comes from the shoulder. So it's not just the hands, but from the whole arm bone, rotate the bicep, the forearm a little bit more towards the sky, and then stretch your arms from the elbows to straight. Okay, sit a little deeper. Bring your hands together in front of your chest, prayer pose. Bring your chest parallel to the floor. Inhale, keep your knees squeezing together as you exhale, twist to the right. So there's a little fire here, to keep us in the body. Now just check out your left knee, make sure it's not sneaking forward. Draw the top shoulder back. So awesome, right? Draw that shoulder away from your ear. So get it down. Yeah, good. Now use the connection of your hands to turn your belly. Inhale, lengthen. Sit a little deeper, Soledad, if you can. Lower your hips, lower your hips. Inhale, come back to center. Yeah, that's it. Arms straight, Utkatasana. Stay in Utkatasana, hands to your chest. Second side, right from here. Exhale, twist to the left. So these sensations in the body, they are not easy, but they are awake. Yeah, really nice. Press the palms, drop the shoulders. It's almost like you're pulling your heart forward through, using the hands almost to drag down to pull your chest forward. Good, everybody sit a little deeper and pull the right hip back. Last 3, last 2. As you inhale, Utkatasana, last time, just for 1 breath, reach the arms forward. And as you exhale, forward fold. Woo, ha, ha, ha. Inhaling in, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank pose. Plank pose, pause. Find a little softness in your elbows. Yeah, just a tiny bit. And then pull the front ribs in as you hug the shoulder blades together onto your back. Good, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Stretch the legs nice and long. Interlace your hands behind your back. Keep your tailbone rooted to support your low spine. And then inhale, lift your chest forward and out. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Now drop your chin. Yeah, Lorraine, that's it. So the back of your neck is super long and lift your legs. And now bring your hands, try to drag your hands back towards your heels so you can let your hands get a little lower. Actually drop your hands towards your butt more. Yeah, and then stretch them back towards your heels. Pull your heart forward, inhale. As you exhale, let them go. Good, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, press back, downward facing dog. Back. From downward facing dog, press down into your hands. Keeping your hips square, take your right leg up and back behind you. Okay, lift the right leg up, there we go. As you exhale, draw the knee into your nose, shift forward and round. We're gonna do this on the breath. As you inhale, take the leg up and back, reach it nice and long, stretch. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward and round. Shift your weight forward, get your shoulders over your wrists. Yes, inhaling in, take the leg up and back, reach. Exhale, draw the knee into the nose, shift forward and round. Stay here for a moment, pull the knee up a little high and tighter. Now, if you found you could take it a little wider and get it higher, then take it a little wide. Pull it up to your shoulder, lift your hips. Place the foot squarely between your hands. Turn your back heel on its side. Line up front heel to back arch. Take your right fingertips outside your right foot. Some of you might be served by a block here. Right? So Lorraine, longer stance. Louisa, longer stance. There you go. Soledad, longer stance. Walk that foot back. Okay. Naomi, longer stance. Press your right knee into your right arm. Take your left hand onto your hip. Turn your belly towards the side and then take your top arm up towards the sky. Parshva Konasana. So Lorraine, right hand stays on the floor. Good, Joanna, bend your front knee more so it's right over your ankle. Bend it. Yeah. Now, turn the bicep towards your nose. So it's almost like I'm trying to turn my hand to the wall that's behind me. Keep that, take the upper arm over your ear. Now press into the outside of your back foot and use the arm to stretch through the sides of your waist, right? Press your knee into your arm and then use that connection to turn your belly towards the left. Beautiful lines, everybody. One more breath. Press down through your feet, rise up, warrior 2. Warrior 2, you're coming up. Now take your fingertips onto your back thigh. Goddess pose, take your front arm up. And again, turn your palm towards your face, turn your bicep towards your face. And then take the top arm up. Yeah, now bend a little bit more into your front knee. More. Sink down. Yes, Connie, sink down. Nice, Tawny. That's it, and lift up out of the sides of your waist. Last breath, warrior two. Open your arms, nice wide chest. Exhale, take your hands down to the floor, downward dog. Inhale, take the left leg up towards the sky, square your hips. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward and round. So work to get the knee nice and high. Come on to the tippy toes. Yeah, nice feet, everybody. Inhale, take the leg up and back. Exhale, draw it in, shift forward, round, 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 round. Inhaling in, take the leg up and back. Exhale, draw the knee in, shift forward, round. Now come a little bit more forward, hike your hips up a little bit more, pull the knee a little bit more in, that's it, and then step the foot between your hands. Good. Now scoot your back toes back if you didn't get quite far enough. A long stance. This is a warrior two stance. Turn your back heel on its side, line up front heel to back arch, and take your left fingertips outside your left ankle. Optional block here. Take your right hand onto your hip. For a moment, pause. Look. See that your knee is over your ankle. Look at it. Look at it. Yes. Good. And now turn your chest open towards the side wall. Take your right arm up. Wrap the bicep down towards your face. Turn the palm like forward towards the wall in front of you, then almost spiral it back. Keep that as you take your top arm over your ear. Yeah, take the top arm all the way over your ear. Yeah, Ryan, that's it. Like right towards your door. And then as you press through the back foot, bend your front knee a little bit more. Tom, awesome long line in your body. That's fantastic. Yeah, Louisa, you guys, these are just so gorgeous. I wish you could all see. And then take a big stretch. One more breath. Press down through your front foot. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, fingertips to the back thigh. Take the top arm up. Again, lengthen out of the sides of your waist and then scoop the right side of your waistline in. And then bend your front knee a little bit more. Sink down. Yeah, nice, Erica. That is it. Nice hole. Good, you guys. One more breath. Big breath in. Warrior two, just for one breath, come back, open the arms. Exhale, take your hands down, plank pose. Plank pose has never felt so sweet. Okay, pull the front ribs in a little bit more. Yeah, really beautiful, strong work here. And use the legs, press the toes into the floor to keep the hips nice and high. Lorraine, that is better with your pelvis. Awesome. Good, everybody exhale all the way down, all the way down. Prop yourself up on your elbows. Take your elbows right underneath your shoulders, a la Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose. So bring your elbows forward so they're underneath your shoulders. Yeah, Julia, you got it. Okay, now look down at your navel for a sec, or towards your navel. You might not be able to see your navel, but that's the idea. You're taking your chin down. Pull the belly wall in slightly so you lengthen your tailbone. You feel a little scoop up so the low back is supported. Keep that as you press the elbows down and start to pull your heart forward through the window of your arms. Yeah, draw the upper arm bones back and then find that little melty soft spot right between your shoulder blades. Drop the chin. Drop the chin. Almost like you're kind of like, you know, you're making that face, which is like, like retracting, like, yeah. It's like that. You tuck your chin in slightly and the back of the neck starts to telescope and get longer. Okay, option one, stay here. Option two, begin to straighten your arms. Keep your pelvis down, straighten your arms. It'll help you if you bring your hands forward more. Yeah, that's good. Bend your elbows now. Screw your hands into the floor and pull your heart forward through your arms. Yes. Yes, yes. And then some of you might be able to walk your hands back a little bit. Cobra pose, full cobra pose, right? Pelvis stays down, elbows pull back, heart stays wide and lifted. Take one more breath. Whee! Pelvis down, exhale, everybody. Lower on down, press up and back. Come to sit on your heels for a moment. Vajrasana, Vajrasana. Shins together, knees together, feet together. Sit on your heels. Take a moment just to drop in and get still. Palms in the lap. No fussing. Notice the desire. It's like notice the desire to kind of move out and to fix. And just let it rest where it lands. Good. Open your eyes. Take your right arm up. Turn the palm again towards your nose. And then spiral the arm back behind you. Take your left hand, wrap the outer right arm in. Take the elbow up, take it as back as possible. And now take your right hand to your right shoulder. Use your left hand to help draw the elbow forward and go up. Then pull the front ribs in. Pull the front ribs in. One more breath. Release this arm, take it up, let it swing back. Take the left arm up. Roll the palm towards your face, spiral the arm back. Use your right arm to help gather the triceps straight forward. Then bend your elbow. Take your hand to your left shoulder. Pull the front ribs into your body and then lift up through the sides of your waist. Pull the front ribs in. Face soft, lips soft. Take a big breath into that armpit. And stretch the arm up. Give it a little release. Your shoulders are a little relaxing. Then come back, downward facing dog. Downward dog. From downward facing dog, take the right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Square the hips. As you exhale, take the knee to the outside of your right arm, the right shoulder. Squeeze it in, shift forward. Pull the knee up as high and close as you possibly can. Keep your arms straight, lift your hips. And now place the right foot by the right thumb. Place your feet hip distance apart. So make sure you got some space. Squeeze your inner legs together. Inhale, take your arms up, high lunge. High lunge. Bend your back knee so that you can let the back of your pelvis get a little heavier. Lift the front of your pelvis up. Take your hands, interlace your hands behind your head. Draw the elbows forward. Drop the shoulders down. Okay, sit a little lower into your legs and squeeze them in. Pull up from the pit of your belly. And now as you press your head back into your hand, begin to pull your heart forward and up, forward and up, forward and up. Good. Now use the power of your back leg. Stretch your back leg towards straight to pull your heart forward and up towards the sky. Yes. That's it. Find the space back behind you. Now press the palms together if you can. Start to straighten your arms. Start to reach from your heart all the way out through your fingertips. Drag your hands together into your heart. And as you exhale, slowly bring your hands back down towards the floor. Lower your back knee down. Squeeze your inner thigh. Slide your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana. Good. Come on to the fingertips. Press your front heel down, pull the outer hip back. As you inhale, reach your chest forward. As you exhale, soften. Good, take one more breath. Good, inhale, come forward, bend your front knee, step back, downward facing dog. Slowly left leg up towards the sky, square your hips. As you exhale, left knee to outer left shoulder, as close as you can. Now press into your fingertips. Don't put that foot down yet. Lift the knee up, squeeze it in. Get your knee a little higher and tighter to your body. Yes, and then place the foot by your left thumb. Nice work. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart so you have some space, and then climb up onto your front thigh to come into a high lunge. Bend your back knee a little bit to give yourself a little space here. Good, and then take your arms up. Interlace the hands the opposite way behind your skull. Bring the elbows a little forward. And then soften your front ribs first. So let's find the softness. So bend your back knee a little bit, find some space. Pull your front ribs in, find some space. Drop your shoulders, find some space. And now, kind of keeping a little bit of that softness, now begin to stretch the back leg towards straight. Now I'll add a little bit of heaviness of your head into your hands and use that to curl your heart forward up and through. Yes, good. And then from the center of your body, press down through both of your feet. And from that connection to the earth, lift up through the sides of your waist, up through your elbows, expand. Beautiful, Melinda. Nice. Good. Use your core. Press your palms, stretch your arms towards straight, reach them back, 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 back into the space behind you. Good, engage your core to come up, bring your hands slowly to the floor, lower your back knee down, settle. Hug your legs in, slide your hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. So come high enough onto your fingertips so that you can find a little elevation through your armpits. So there's a sense of, I can pull the heart forward and through, pull the chest through the window of your arms. Yeah. And then if you've got more room, then you can walk your fingertips forward. Good. And just to add some yumminess to this, Pull your outer left hips back just a bit. So flex the foot, pull the left hip back. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Subtle but evil. 2 more breaths. Alrighty, bend your front knee, shift forward, place your hands flat, step back to downward facing dog. Okay. Nice. Lower your knees down. Lower your knees down and bring your elbows down underneath your shoulders. Let's actually do this the hard way first. So bring your palms flat, just like we did last week for Pincha or Sphinx pose. Good. Now, so your shoulders now are over your wrists. Walk your knees back a little bit so you're in a tabletop. Press your elbows down. Find that buoyancy through your ribs. So pull, like spread the back ribs towards the body. And then again, you're keeping that buoyancy, but then just sliding the shoulder blades a little bit together and in. From here, curl your toes under, lift your hips. So a dolphin pose. Lift your hips up. Good. Press your elbows down. Slowly start to walk your toes in towards your elbows. That's it. Bend your knees a little bit to pull the hips up and back. Walk in as far as you can. Bring the sides of the feet together. Okay, press the elbows down. Now, keeping the hips super square, very slowly so you can feel it. Lift the right leg up towards the sky. Nice and slow, legs straight. Reach through the toes. Or any bend, straighten your top leg. And then slowly lower it down. Press the elbows down. Lift the left leg up. Lift the left leg up. Slowly, 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 and then slowly lower it down, in, drop in. Again, do our best. And now in this moment, we let it drop. That's the practice. Now, now. Vajrasana, sit on your heels, palms in your lap. Okay. Regulate your breathing. Let your thoughts drop in. So just notice the thoughts that come up. Can you create a little distance from them? I have them, guys, I got the meanest thoughts in my head about myself. Don't we all have those things? We all say, so the trick is not, those are going to happen. We have little demon, which is called little demon voices. But what we need to do is practice creating space. And even from our grandiose voices too, to create a little space and generosity, so that those things can come and go, and we find again the space to drop into our own presence. There we go. Like, oh, okay, there we are. All right. Okay, so let's do handstand prep, because it's a great press for Shirshasana. So if you don't have a wall, you will repeat what we just did, much to your sadness, because it's hard. But if you do have a wall, then what we will do is what we did for handstand a couple of weeks ago. So you'll have your toes at the wall. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, right? I'm going to melt my heart. You can watch me real quick if you haven't seen this yet. Pull the core in, lift up, straight arms, strong legs, straight arms, straight arms. Now what we're going for here is that moving into the back. So my upper back becomes a break. This is important for Shirshasana. So my upper back is like my shoulder blades are moving in through the front of my body towards the wall. Then I can tap the toes. I can tap one toe if I can keep my hips straight. I lift both up, squeeze the legs, and then eventually straighten them. What I'm working on here is the feeling of my upper back moving in, right? So that's what supports me. Okay, either that or dolphin. Repeat what we just did. Toes at the wall, hands underneath your shoulders. Nice strong legs. Yep, if you're doing the other version, elbows down. From here, lift your hips up, bend your knees, pull the hips way back, way back, way back, way back. Tap the toes up the wall. If you can tap the toes without the hips moving, nice tawny. Yep, then bring one toe up, then the other toe up, hip height. Yeah, that's it. Good, so you can come down and bring your hands, you can bring your hands another couple of inches towards the wall. Yeah, because you have real flexible shoulders, but I want you to get your shoulders, your wrists, and your hips aligned. So walk your hands in. Yeah, good. Tom, you're bold. All right. Nice, Trisha. Yeah, well done. Well done. Tawny, pull your ribs in just a tiny bit. Yeah, come back. Come back. Pull the ribs in. Boop, boop. You could probably walk your hands back as well a couple inches. Okay, everybody come down. Okay, good. Come close to your screen so you can watch me. Okay, so here's the thing about headstand. So these inversions have different personalities. Handstand to me is like an exuberant 5-year-old. Pincha Mayurasana is a little bit like, you know, an adult, a little bit more refined. Headstand is like, you know, my mother. She's like, well, not my mother. My mother is kind of wild, but it's like, it's more refined. It's more contained. There is more deliberation to it. And one of the reasons why it is more refined and why we don't just throw ourselves into headstand in the same way we might throw ourselves in handstand is because our head is on the floor. So why this is great, it gives us more support. It also means we don't really want to turn our head or fall. So we approach with mindfulness. It's all about bringing us into this moment. So what I want you to do is to find a place on your head. You can place your hand on your forehead. It's usually on the top of your head. Now, when you lift into it, you don't lift your chin or the back of your head. So if I'm too far forward, that spot's too far forward, when I press into it, I'm going to lift my chin. If it's too far back, when I press into it, I'm going to drop my chin. So you want to find that Goldilocks spot where you just feel like when I lift through that little point, that I'm lengthening through my neck evenly. So we want a natural curve in our spine. So that's the point that's going to be on the floor. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to interlace my hands all the way up to the webbing. Now, there are different ways you can do headstand fingers, but this is the way I always taught, the way I start off. Other people do them in different ways. Now, with them laced up to the webbing, you can tuck the bottom pinky in if you want, because that'll make a nice flat surface. I don't. I leave them crossed and then I change the crossing. But if it hurts your pinky, just tuck it in. And then my hands aren't going to flatten. Instead, I'm going to leave a little space in between them. Like I have a little pet hamster. Don't squish the hamster. And the reason that I do that is because I want to create a nice long line from my elbow through my wrist, so I'm not breaking my wrists. So there's a beautiful stability through this triangle shape of our arms. Now, little bonus point, if you're someone, when you lift your elbow up, you have a ton of space here to here, and it's not something that you can, like I do, but I can also regulate it so that my arms match my neck. But some people, if you have a really long elbow relative to your neck, you might put a blanket underneath your forehead so that those things are level, okay? Same thing if you have really tiny arms. I can't really do this one, but say you have really tiny arms, you might need to put a blanket underneath your elbow so that your head isn't taking all the weight. So that's a fine point we're gonna do. We're gonna do this 2 different ways, okay? So the first way we're going to do this is going to be the curl up way. So we're gonna do the curl up way, and then we're gonna do the straight leg way. So watch me. So I'll bring my hands, I bring them a little bit away from the wall. The trick with any inversion is that I need to get my hips over my shoulders. If I don't get my hips, if I'm here, if I can't get my hips over my shoulders, then it's hard to get to the wall. The more I can get my hips over my shoulders, the easier it is for my legs to get light. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our nice triangle here. I'm using the arms. So I want about 10% of your weight on your head. 10% of your weight on your head, 90% is carried by your forearms. The head is really just a point of balance. Squeeze and lift up, walk your feet in as far as you can. Now, here's why we did that exercise at the beginning of class. Watch what I do. I'm going to pull my knee in. I'm not lifting it up, okay? This is going to be anti-instinctual for you guys. Pull the knee in. You might need to pull it a little wider. Come onto the toes and use that leg to try to get your hips over your shoulders. Then the other leg will float up. You'll squeeze in. You bring the toes to the wall and stretch them up. Squeeze the legs, lift up. To come down, press more through your forearms. I can almost lift my head up. Press through your forearms, curl into a little ball, and then bring your toes down. Now, let me stress, not all of you will get up in this way. We will do another way. So what's important is that you're in, it's like, here's where we practice that discernment of not end gaining. Bhagavad Gita, do what you can to the best of your ability, but let go of where you get to. There are more factors than your willpower that determine what happens today, right? as in life. All right, so let's give it a try. Bring your hands together, find your nice, beautiful base, nice, strong base. Hands close to the wall. Press your elbows down, bring the top of your head to the floor, and then lift your hips up. Thanks, Ryan. Ryan just like pop up. Okay, then press your elbows down and start to walk your feet in as close as you can. You're trying to get your pelvis to the wall. Louisa, knee into your chest rather than up. I know you want to do it that way, but come down and do it the other way. We'll do that way next, I promise. Okay, draw one knee into your chest, Melinda, into your belly, not up towards the sky, into your belly. Bring your knee so it touches your, yes, and use that to squeeze in to lift your hips. Good, and see if you can get both legs in, one leg in. Maybe change sides. No. Yeah, Julia. I know you guys, this is a lesson in patience, friends. Lorraine, bring that knee into your belly. Oh my gosh, my impatient yogis. Okay, and then press into your forearms. Curl down slowly. Find the control to come down. And then sit. Your shoulders relax. Good. Okay, dear ones. Okay, come watch me. Can you guys still see and hear me okay? Hands up, we're doing good. Hands up, you're still alive. I'm good. Good to check in. Okay, so now I know some of you know the straight-legged version, and this is going to be a little easier in some ways for some of you and harder in others. So that's why I like to do both. So in this version, you can give a slight, okay, hold on, pinky promise, or Girl Scout promise, even Tom and even Ryan, Girl Scout promise, say, I promise. I can see your lips moving or not. I promise I will not kick myself up into headstand, no matter what, even if I think it makes me sexy. Yeah, Erica, promise. Trisha, no. Trisha. All right, so, okay, here's how it goes. Elbows down, same exact thing. Strong, sturdy base. Curl the toes under, lift up. This time I'm lifting one leg up. This is what you're gonna wanna do, okay? Right, but we're not kicking up. Again, remember, we're dignified. The trick is to try to get as much of my leg and hip to the wall so that the other leg can be light. It's okay to turn out a little bit, but we really wanna hug in as best we can. Then you lift your legs up, pull through. To come down, practice keeping one heel on the wall as you bring the other leg down. See how long you can keep that. Whoa. Because that's going to help you start to develop that leg mindfulness to your capacity today. All right, let's give it a try. Set yourself up. Strong, sturdy base. Curl the toes under, lift your hips. Walk in as far as you can. Now get the upper back into your body. Yeah. Now lift one leg up. Yes, nice. And bring the hip to the wall. You can give yourself, Lorraine, you've got to get that top leg straight. Straight. Yep, and then you can give yourself a little hop. Good. And then squeeze, good, Connie. Still work on squaring your hips and keep the top leg straight. I know it wants to get to the wall, but yeah, that's it, train it. If you're up, squeeze the legs together. Good, Tani, bring your heels more toward the windows, actually. That, yeah, you bet, yeah, now a little bit more forward. Your plumb line is between those two. Good, beautiful stability. And then slowly come down, one leg at a time. Good, Louisa, think about bringing your hips to the wall. When you come down, I know that shoulder stuff too, but we'll get there. That's good. But when you come down, so something to play with, Louisa, when you come down is to just bring one leg down and see if as you bring that leg down, your hips can kind of scoot a little bit more towards the wall. They might not be able to, but it might just be an energetic thought experiment for now, but that'll help you slow your roll, slow your out. It's like a little break. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So when we're up here, as we come down, there's a tendency for the hips to move forward. So when I bring one leg down, I also try to pull my hips back. It's kind of like,
that's kind of working on this counterbalance, because the hips create the counterbalance for the leg to eventually do like this thing, right? So I'm trying to figure out what the relationship is of my leg weight and my hips in these poses, because that's going to help me figure out how to find that balancey point. There's something to play with, you guys. The inversions, when you're coming out, that's where we can play. We can play with like where I am in space, because that's going to eventually, that's going to give your body the kind of understanding of coming into the pose, because we come into it. All right, option, you can do one more time, any way you want, or you can put your legs up the wall. If you're done, legs up the wall, otherwise handstand, one more time version of your choice. And I will watch you. Or if you're like, I want to do handstand, you can do handstand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice, Julia. Squeeze your legs together so they can feel each other. Yeah. That's it, Naomi. You got it. Feet to the wall for a moment. Get your, yeah. So there's your wall. Good. And then come off it. Yeah, Louisa. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Totally. That was it. Yay. Okay, guys. Really nice work today. Come down. Ooh, everybody put your legs up the wall. Everybody legs up the wall. Or legs in the air. Okay, so it doesn't have to be up the wall. If you don't have a wall, you don't have to use the wall, but legs up, you can bend the knees. This is a nice way to let the femur bones, it's like just they kind of settle back in the pelvis. All right. If you're at the wall, you can stay at the wall. However, you may need to scoot your hips a few more inches towards the center of the room. We're going to come into thread the needle. So if you don't have a wall, no problem. You just cross your right ankle over your left knee and grab it in. If you've got the wall there, then keep your left foot at the wall, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and then you can keep your arms out of it. You can just use the wall to act as your little brace. It's kind of a nice way to do this pose. So thread the needle, right ankle over left knee, and let your breath soften. Let your body get a little heavier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to increase the stretch, if you're on your back at the wall, you can bend your left knee a little further down. I think you guys all found it. Okay, one more breath on this side. Exhale, let it go. Legs up, change sides. And let the pelvis drop. Let the head be heavy and rest. Bless you. And 3 more breaths. And stretch the legs up, drop both knees into your chest again, happy baby. So this time let the knees fall wide. And if you'd like, you can point the feet up towards the sky. Hold on to the outer shins or the outsides of your feet.
And one more breath. And Shavasana. Slowly making your way into Shavasana. If you like legs at the wall for Shavasana, you can stay at the wall and put your legs at the wall for sure. Otherwise, come to lay flat. And Shavasana is the pose where we practice letting go. So a lot in our life has us holding on. We've been taught to hold on to a lot of things, and this is where we unwind some of those habits. Like, this is the space where we can practice surrendering and relaxing into something that is bigger than us. There is a relaxation, a settling on, oh, right, thank goodness, being held in this space. And slowly start to deepen your breath. Getting to move your fingers and your toes. And roll onto your right side. Make your way all the way up to sit. Keep your eyes closed as you bring your left hand over your heart, your right hand over your left. Bow your head to your heart. And we rest in that space of knowing we did enough. It was enough. It is enough. And take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Bring your hands together, press your palms, and bring the thumbs to the center of your forehead, bringing the clarity of your heart and this heart space into your mind. Bring your thumbs to your lips for clarity in your expression and your speech. And thumbs back to the heart to honor the wisdom of your heart. Namaste. Good work today, everybody. Beautifully mindful. Beautifully mindful. Ryan, I'm so glad you could come. Nice to see you. Good to see you. Wonderful to see everybody. And if you have questions, please feel free to hang out.
Thank you, Rachel.
Otherwise, I hope you all have a beautiful week, and we'll be back on Friday.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Rachel.
You're welcome.
Rachel,
Thanks,
can I ask
Yeah.
you a question, please?
Yes.
I once saw someone on Instagram jump back from Headstand into Chaturanga. Is there, and I thought, what the what? Like, is there ever, and is that ever appropriate? Like, is that a thing even?
Oh,
Not before.
you could. I imagine they're jumping back into their forearms. They're not straightening their arms, or did they straighten their arms? That would be madness. Did they just jump back? Yeah. So it's actually not that bad because you're lifting your head off the floor. It's not like you're putting more weight on the floor. So you're. I remember back at some crazy day I used to do that. So basically, you press with your arms, you lift your head, and your legs shoot back. So it's not, you got to make sure you're not going to keep your knees completely straight, perhaps.
I'm not going to do it,
doing
obviously.
that. Yeah. No, I mean, it's not the thing that I would be worried about with any of those transitions that are involving headstand is always I'm aware of the neck. So in that particular instance, you're actually pushing through your arms enough to lift your head. So you were taking that danger out of it. So there would just be getting your legs to the floor, which would probably be okay. I think I did that. I remember that hazily doing that once when I was younger, playing with that. But yeah, it'd be all right. It's more challenging to do. People do bakasana into headstand. Do you know that? They do crow pose and then they put their head down and I think that's riskier because gravity is actually dumping you forward. And so I knew someone in class who like bloodied her nose doing it, like a teacher who bloodied her nose doing it. And I mean, it was hilarious because she was like my best friend and we laughed about it, but that's not okay. So that's more dangerous. Like it's better to actually go from Shirshasana to crow, like Shirshasana B to crow, because you're lifting into gravity than it is to go from one where you're going to plunk down. So as a measure of transitions, that's how I would kind of evaluate their safety. Like, am I going to be screwed with gravity or working against it?
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, good question.
I have a question, Rachel. Again.
Yes.
So I want to know if you think it's always better to teach headstand with a wall, because there are some methodologies like Sivananda that they recommend to not use the wall because then you get used to it and then you take a long time to find your balance. I find better with the wall, but I want to know how it is for you always better with the wall. I feel it's safety for the students, a safetier for the students. I mean, or for the teachers, I don't know.
Yeah. For me, I'm a fan of the wall. I'm not a Shivananda yogi. I come from more of an Iyengar background. In Ashtanga, we didn't use we would move, in my Ashtanga, we would move to the wall. But I like the wall, especially for an all-level class where people are at all different spaces. Sometimes, you just got to get up there. If I were teaching a workshop where I could instruct people how to spot each other or how to do things mindfully, then maybe that would be where I wouldn't. But if I'm especially teaching online, no, I always use a wall. But that's my default. And there are pros and cons I see to that, but I prefer the pros and cons of the wall than the room.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I'd rather have people dependent but not get hurt.
Yeah. I feel the same. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Any other questions? Are we good? Have a beautiful day.
I have one for you, Rachel.
Ryan. Yeah, let's hear it.
So this is an anatomy question, actually. I was actually talking with my students.
What?
And we're talking about
okay.
the piriformis being a lateral rotator, right? So what was usually the go-to stretch for a piriformis?
Thread the needle. Or actually Gomukhasana. So your knee is more in. So rather than, because
show me
even
though
you're
Rachel,
externally rotated. So thread the needle here is good, but Gomukhasana where you cross, where the knee is a little bit more medial, from my understanding, directly impacts it a little bit more, but you have to be forward folding, because even though this is externally rotated, when we add flexion to it, it changes the angle across the back of the pelvis, and that's why it stretches.
That's what I was confused about, because it was doing this action. I was like, wait, we're just shortening the muscle if we do lateral rotation that way. But you're saying it's the added flexion that gives it the
That's
stretch.
Right. Exactly. That's why you won't. Yeah.
Okay. That's what. Okay.
Right. That's such a good question. I know. I was confused about that for years. I was like, why?
Yeah.
It's the flexion.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rachel. Such a beautiful class. Glad to see you.
I'll see you soon. Bye.
All right. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.